Working through finding the right people in your life, it can be tough in a digital world. With swiping, apps, digits, it can be confusing. Well, on the Al Travis Show, we have Heather Dugan, our relationship expert, to help with all your relationship questions.
Love having her on the program. Heather, how are you?
I am well. Good morning. How are things with you? Yes.
Can't complain. Life has turned another chapter, which is the best chapter of all time. My final two children have now flew the coop completely. They graduated college. We had 2 weekends ago, my youngest, last weekend, my middle son graduated law school. They're out. It's done.
Yeah.
No more. The only thing we have left to do is change the locks on the house and then find out how I move them to their own phone plan, their own life health insurance, their own, it's time to move on. And I'm very excited with this next chapter.
Oh, I can imagine. Do you have like addresses you can send all the unclaimed socks to as well? Out of the laundry room? Yeah. Okay. Got to get rid of all that.
When they left for college and each of them left this massive amount of crap in their closet or whatever, I don't want to take that to college. It's like, great. When you come home, go through it, give what you're going to, do whatever. 4 years later, still there.
I know.
4 years. It will be the next time they stop. Do me a favor, walk past the closet, grab what you want, because everything else will be discarded properly. If I can put it to good use at Salvation Army, whatever. Figure it out, because I'm done hanging on to your crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's a hard line. That's one I need to take with a couple of kids, I think. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
No,
a lot
you got to put
in those boxes, right? Yeah.
Well, if there are memories for them, then take them. If you don't, if it doesn't matter to you, it doesn't matter to me. But yeah, so my wife gets on me a little bit. The other thing I want to talk to you about is the way we send these kids off. I think the graduation ceremony is a pile of hoo-ha. So I've been at a couple of them. You go to graduate high school, they're the same. You get somebody, some dignitary that everybody supposedly has got to have respect for because he's got the funny shirt on, and the jacket and the weird hat.
Right.
And they blow this picture up about how the start of life is, and everything is going to be so rose if you did it. The hard part's over. It's like everything from here is going to be so easy. And I'm like, who are you, Buffalo? And what are you setting up?
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, our governor, I don't know if you caught it, was on national TV. He did the exact opposite at his. This is a terrible time to be alive. It was totally disappointing. There's got to be some way we can get to the middle of the truth. Would you not like that if you sat at graduation and it was like, you know what, they're going to be hard times. This is cool. Good for you getting through this. But just know, bills are coming up next month, and they're on you now.
Loans are still out there, right? They're not just magically going to disappear. Yeah.
Am I lying that we could do better with that? Why are we blowing smoke up these people?
Well, I mean, that's a lot of pressure. Go out and be happy now. You've got everything hard done, and then in the meantime, they haven't landed their first job, and the kid that never did his homework and was cheating off of yours up to the top of the company. It doesn't make sense. There's a lot of random luck out there. Things are not always going to go our way. And I think the more you're ready to dig down at the right moments, that diligence, you're going to need it all the way through. A little stamina. They need to put equal measures of that in there with the positivity that you don't check stamina.
I remember first starting radio like 30, 35 years ago, whatever it was. They said you weren't in radio until you got fired the first time.
Oh, nice.
And that was like a benchmark. Okay, I've been fired, get another job, move on. You learn a little something. Mm-hmm. You knew there were going to be setbacks.
Okay.
But they don't teach kids that today. Kids had, look at that. I got through 4 years. Now I just go get my $1 million a year job and I'll buy the beautiful home. And they have no clue. And we don't teach them.
I think that it can really set you up for failure, because then you're not, instead of innovating and being creative, the things that we're really supposed to be learning to do in college, using our brain and critical thinking, right? Mm-hmm. You get spiraled into this, what's wrong with me? Things haven't gone as they should have gone. Whatever that was supposed to be in that graduation speech that was so inspiring. But a few mechanical, technical type things would be good to include, I think, the fact that the bills will come. Bills will come.
There'll be tight months, and you might lose a job. You might got to play. We even came up with it, and it's our generation's issue. We did this to these children. We've invented the helicopter mom terminology, right? That we would guard our children at all costs. I think there's something to kids riding bikes out in the middle of the street and, skinning a knee and sucking it up because Buttercup, you did it. Go, I think there's something to that, and we lost a generation of that. You drank out of a hose. Now you're a Miss Fitness gal. You walk aimlessly in the woods on purpose. You drank out of a hose, right? As a kid,
I did. There's actually video somewhere of my uncle letting me drink out of a hose and then crimping it and then blowing a blast in my face. Now was that a lesson or what?
Never trust your uncle or family. That's a great lesson.
Yeah, and my daughter and I were talking when I was out there visiting about a week ago about the fact that we had the woods in the backyard and the streams and all that, and I sent the kids out expecting that there would be minor damage occasionally to their persons, right? But what better place to learn when they had a place to come back to? And now these kids are graduating and they're expecting that they'll be potentially, some might be expecting that rescue still if they haven't had a chance to rescue themselves yet. We got to, self-rescue is an important skill. Wouldn't you agree?
I would. I want to get one of them, what do they call them? Door ring cams or whatever. I want one of those because I want to see my kid's face the first time they come home and the door's locks are changed. Because I've been saying it for 100 years. That's what the day they're gone, I'm going to change. I want to come home and just go, it doesn't work. I want to see that. I really do. I want to see that big time.
And you're going to lower the boxes down from the attic up there on a rope so that just they can
throw them out. You want it's like they break up with your girlfriend, throw her stuff out.
It goes along with it. Al's kids. He loves you. He really does. Go ahead, Al.
In his own unique, strange way. There's a story we're going to chat about today. I think it kind of goes with this. Half of 16 to 21-year-old students, this is a poll out of the UK.
It is. It's a British study.
Say 70% feel worse after using their social media.
Yeah.
Give me some psychological babble on this. I don't understand. If you're 16 to 21 and 70% of you feel worse after using it, why are they addicted to it? I get it if you get a high on it. I would understand, but I feel bad when I do it, so I want to do it more. Are they all Lutherans?
I know. I think part of the thing, did you also read they would be in favor of a curfew? What I'm reading out of that is that it's kind of a détente situation. I'll quit if everybody else quits. They're afraid of what they'll miss if they aren't on there. Who's talking about me? Who's doing what? What am I, what do I not know that I need for tomorrow? It's not a fear of missing out so much as a, what would I even call it? It's like there's a whole life there that they're not going to be prepared for if they aren't on the same level as everybody else digitally. It's a bad corner to be stuck in. And I think, parents can cut it off for their child, but that's not enough of a solution. There definitely needs to be a more countrywide, global wide. We got to address this issue before.
There's something they would be willing for having a digital curfew, like after 10 o'clock, no one was, but everybody has to be on. What you're talking about, and I found that interesting because it hit me. I read the story and then last night.
Yeah. So
for the most, I go to bed early. 9 o'clock, I'm in bed. I got to get up early. I go to bed. I have no problem with that on a regular. But the Timberwolves were on. I was texting a lot of friends, different groups as the game was going on. Game gets over at 10.
Yeah.
I put the phone down. I'm going to bed. I'm just tired as all get out. But I checked that phone because it would jiggle or do whatever up till about 11 o'clock. I didn't want to miss what any of those people were saying about the Timberwolves. And I thought to myself, you're the same guy, Al. Generally, I can just go to bed. But I was up because I was interested. I can see how these kids just don't want to miss.
We didn't have that option. We had a flashlight if we were lucky under our pillow. We read a book.
Oh, you read books. Come on.
I know.
The rest of us didn't read books. Might have been some pornography involved.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding,
Nancy
Mom.
Drew. Yeah,
exactly. Nancy Drew. That's what I did. I snuck Nancy Drews into the attic.
Yeah.
All right. But you can see where they got that.
You do.
So if 70%, and that's a true number, would like this, isn't not up to the parents, us to say, social media sites close at, just like a store, they close at 10.
That would be a love if we could put it through that way. There's so many complications within that and a lot of arguments in a lot of different directions on it. I personally agree. I think that we've got to find a way to regulate social media in a way that's going to be more conducive to positive mental health, because what we're doing right now isn't working. We've got feedback coming back to these kids that is beyond our comprehension all the time.
See, you remember when we used to wait until after 7 o'clock to make a long distance phone call because you got the better rates?
Yeah.
we were able to do said things because Dad was going to kill you if you got business rates and calling people long distance 24/7. I don't understand. Well, I probably do. I don't know why phones. I have a phone plan. Oh, my kids are old enough now, but the kids' phones were on my plan. Why could I not restrict those phones from 10 at night until 8 in the morning to nothing but phone calls? I mean, I would think the technology would be there.
Yeah, and parents are getting smartphones. Schools are starting to restrict cell phone use with it, like during school hours, and actually not allow phones, making them a no phone zone.
No phone zone.
The parents are the ones that get concerned because they want to reach their kids should there be an incident.
Again, so the phone could work as a phone, but it doesn't work as an internet gossip tool. I presume it's because of the money in those internet gossip tools. Instagrams would have a flipping cow if my Verizon said we're turning anyone under 18, that they would have it'd be lawsuits, I suppose.
Oh gosh, it's like, again, there's so many layers of the things that matter, that truly matter, are not the things we're paying attention to a lot of the time. You're right. It's arguments that come from more a corporate minded side instead of mental health side. But we owe it to our kids to dig in a little deeper on this stuff. I do like it when schools are restrictive on that sort of thing because they don't have, the kids, the focus is narrowed. We need help narrowing focus.
What's funny is, how long has a cell phone been around? 85, 89, 90? I don't know.
Do we count the suitcase size ones? I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, but you and I were able to go to school 8 hours a day or whatever it was and not have to talk to our parents. Yeah. We made plans for after school. We did our thing. You put a quarter in the machine. Yeah, the quarter in the machine to make a phone call if you had. You know what I'm saying? Somehow we were able to do it, but now without
it's
a phone,
different.
your child is lost.
Yeah, you wrote important information on the palm of your hand, be it a phone number or whatever. We didn't have, that note-taking app or anything.
My brain is nowhere near what it was when it was in high school.
Truth.
But you knew every one of your friends' phone numbers by heart.
You did, right?
You just dialed it like automatic. Bing, bing, bing. I don't know my wife's phone number right now because I just hit her picture on my phone and it dials it. I would have to look it up.
Yeah, I think it's important we kind of put a few of those things in our head so we still remember how to do it. And same with do the calculations in your head at the grocery store, guys. I think it's important. We've sent too many things off to automation that we need to retain. What happens when the power goes out?
You light a fire, but if you can't light a fire if I don't have a lighter. Okay, we got to go to break. We'll be back after this. I got Heather Dugan, my relationship expert.
All the special interests are represented in St. Paul, but who speaks for you? Center of the American Experiment does. Our policy fellows dig into the tough issues that matter to you and offer common sense solutions on education, taxes, crime, and energy. American Experiment is the trusted, nonpartisan voice of Minnesotans like you. We are working every day to make Minnesota a better, safer, more prosperous place. We are American Experiment. Go to americanexperiment.org to learn more.
Achieving your financial goals requires individual planning and a comprehensive approach. At Midwest Money Management, our mission is to provide you with the knowledge, tools, and confidence to feel comfortable financially today and secure about tomorrow. Learn more at MidwestMoneyManagement.com. That's MidwestMoneyManagement.com.
Securities offered through JW Cole Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through JW Cole Advisors Inc. Midwest Money Management and JW Cole Financial Inc. and JW Cole Advisors Inc. are unaffiliated entities.
You don't need to ask him his opinion more than once. Al Travis on The Al Travis Show.
We've got a relationship expert on the program. She is Heather Dugan. Go to heatherdugan.com. Get her to come to talk to your group, organization, buy any of her books. Heather, we need to put a pin in this one. The other story you sent me, I absolutely think has got hours of conversation in it. We'll never get it here, but we can do maybe a quick hit on it, because especially with the graduation. The story was, do you feel proud when you succeed or just relieved that it's done, that you got there? And then it's all why you do that, how you're raised, yada, yada. I think it has a lot to do with what we're talking about, high school graduation or graduation from college. For whatever reason, thoroughly expect my children to get through high school. I did. I would. We would have had other conversations if they didn't make it through high school. But at the end of that, everyone he knows, every one of his friends, all have a massive garage party, and you did it. You did exactly what we expected, and we throw this massive party. College graduation. Now, I would have probably bet on it that they would or they could, but whether they get there, not everybody does. That gets done, and we took him to dinner after, said, hey, nice job. Just the expectations / rewards are upside down in my book. So I am pretty much screwing up my kids, aren't I? They're going to go to work and do nothing, expect a party, and then when they do something big, think, want to go to lunch?
It sounds to me like it's a more intrinsic reward, which is the way it should be, right? They're doing it for them, not for you. But, the question is going to be, what is the internal dialogue that they're having as they approach these big moments? Is there a sense of, accomplishment, but is there joy in the moments that have led up to it?
Let's turn it back on Heather Dugan. You've written more than one book. You're writing a book. You get it done. I was relieved and the publisher said, yes, this is great, and you put it out there? Or were you jumping up and down and said, yeah, got the last period in there? Are you a proud person, or are you relieved when you get a project done?
I think there's an evolution that happens.
You can't even answer that. Tell me.
No, I'm going to tell you. I used to be a relieved person. I won't say that there's never moments of relief now, but I think I am aware, and that helps me to celebrate the moments along the way. Sure, there are a lot of moments to be proud of, and I think the things that I'm most proud of, though, are different than the things that used to give me moments of pride. Like I think that the appreciation levels are elevated on the more interpersonal things as opposed to the achievements. So, I think once you begin to transform your life a little more into that kind of thinking, it kind of, the rest of it will kind of line up a little differently as well. So while you can feel pride and joy in the big accomplishments, you're also aware of all those little tiny things along the way that stoked it, and that you were able to take pleasure in. The person that helped you here, the person that advised you there, the person that you might have spent time with here and sent off with, maybe a better sense of how they can expand into the world. Those things, it's a matter of what we're going to celebrate out. Does that help, or is that like totally confusing?
No, I get where you're at, but I think that's an age thing. I don't mean to put you on. As you grow, you figure these things out because you party for this, and so you kind of learn from your mistakes. That made me happier, really, in the long run than this did. I got the new car. That was one thing, but really, I enjoyed fixing the old car. Whatever. I think you grow into that. But I want to talk about. Can you put a pin in this? Can we bust this down? In 2 weeks when we get you back?
So important. And the sooner we learn these things, the better lives we're going to have. So I would totally enjoy that conversation.
I would too. So put a pin in it. I'm a late bloomer. At some point, I'm going to start being appreciative of things like you were talking about that are
I see daffodils, Al. Okay.
I see the weed that needs to be mowed. We got to go. Thank you, Heather. Appreciate you being on the program.
Thank you.
Heather Dugan, heatherdugan.com.